Crimes on the Christmas Express is calling at the Garrick right the way through until the 6th of January. I have from New Old Friends several of the cast. I haven't got all of them. Of the 4, we're one missing. So where's Johnny hiding to begin with?
He's incredibly lazy, Johnny.
Yeah.
He only plays 2 characters in the show. We all play far more, and he's not turned up for the interview.
Shocking. I don't know. But what can you do?
If you're watching, Johnny, this is your P45.
Yeah, this is shocking. He won't do that again. I can tell you that much. Okay, so let's meet the cast. We've got Duron.
Hello.
And we have Heather.
Hello.
And Fergus.
Hello.
Now, you two guys are officially new old friends, aren't you?
Yes.
And you've just basically been employed for the show.
I'm a hanger-on.
It's,
Duron the hanger-on.
Duron's one of our oldest new old friends.
Yeah.
So we first worked with Duron back in 2010.
Yeah.
Back in 2010 on a sketch show, and we've been looking for an excuse to work with him ever since. And then this show came along, and there were a series of roles that were just perfect for his skills.
Now, this kind of comes off the back of last year's production, because last year was Crimes Against Christmas.
Yes.
And this was all very much surrounding, and then there were none, the Agatha Christie style show. And that was rip-roaringly funny, hilarious throughout. The audience adored you, so you had to come back for more.
Well, that's very kind of you to say. Yeah, cheers. It was great. It was amazing. We had an incredible time last year. We're very lucky to be invited back again this year, and we're having a cracking time again, we're just very grateful to Lichfield and the Garrick, because it's co-production, so the Garrick are involved in the production of the show. And just very grateful to them for having us, really.
And it's one of those shows that this isn't the negative thing. Although it's obviously been written, it doesn't feel written as such because it feels like it's got that energy as you're doing it that you could be doing it at the spur of the moment, but equally you know that there's so many good gags in it that it couldn't possibly have happened that way.
Yeah, I think, I do the majority of the writing in inverted commas, but I'd say there's a decent chunk of what gets said each night that isn't necessarily in the script. More so some nights than others, but yeah. So no, we try. Our philosophy on making theatre is if we're having a good enough time with the audience and playing off them, if the audience offer something up to us, we have to take it, use it, and play with it, really. So we have a great time, and hopefully the audience come along and have a great time with us too. So yeah. I'm talking quite a lot.
I think that. Heather, your thoughts? Is he a nightmare when he's writing things and?
Well, yeah. So no, he's not at all. He just constantly reads out what he's written to me and says, "This is funny, right? This is funny." And then if I don't find it funny, then I have to be explained why it's funny. So that's always fun. But it's a joy.
Yeah, if Heather doesn't find something funny, it's not because it's not funny. It's just she hasn't got it yet.
Right.
That's what it is.
Blaming you for
Yes.
being slow.
Yeah.
Let's ask an independent arbiter on this one.
Yeah.
Is it all funny, Daron?
To me, it is, and there are still moments. We've lived with the script since I think September, or perhaps even slightly before that, and because we had a week's workshop in September to kind of explore the script, and there are still jokes that when I'm backstage tickle me so much because Fergus is very clever, and apart from being very funny, and a lot of them are just sort of like, wow.
And misunderstood by Heather.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Jason.
But you kind of think, what was your thought process to reach that joke? It's brilliant. So
See, the thing is, I've seen the show, and there are things that I want to talk about but don't want to give away. I think it's safe to say that the amount of snow that is thrown around in this is absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
And if I dare mention the way in which you carry cases as being hugely amusing and one you have to come and see to understand that. But that is, it's just absolute classically funny comedy, and it doesn't get old throughout the whole of the show.
Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, a lot of that comes from our fantastic director Tim Ford, who is the outgoing director here at the Garrick. He's an incredibly talented man. And during that week that Duron's just referenced, he had us all learning how to lift each other safely and properly, and then we kind of just kept loading on top of that other bits and pieces. And then when the snow arrived,
we just kind of found more moments naturally in the chase scenes that we've got, and other moments during the show where there were just moments where either snow's mentioned or snow-like words are mentioned, where we just think, actually, that's another moment where we can completely just grab a box of snow and just
throw it at each other.
Almost, like get your own back on each other throughout the show, really. It's a little bit like that.
Yeah, it's quite a long run, so you do have to find little games between one another.
Yeah.
And hitting each other in the face with snow is one of those. That's quite fun.
We've horribly inhaled it at times, and it's really put us off during some scenes to kind of cough up some snow and carry on through the scene as well.
So it's not phlegm, it's purely bits of plastic and the back of the throat.
That's what it is.
I'm not sure if that's better or not, but that's what it is.
I think the audience may be less disturbed if it lands on them as you cough, to be fair, that way, but there we go. But a fantastically funny show, and how on earth do you fit a multi-carriage train into the studio space at the Garrick? You wouldn't really have expected to be able to do that, but you guys carry it off, which is the crazy part.
Yeah, we wanted a set that could do all sorts of things and change with us to represent different locations throughout the train and also outside the train as well. So with what we've got for our set, we wanted it simple but effective, and hopefully that's the effect that we're creating.
The other thing is the space in the studio it's a beautiful space to perform in because the audience they're all around you. I think the furthest seat back is 5 rows back, despite the fact there's 150 odd people in there or something like that in there. You're always very close to the stage. But what that means is it wraps around you. So when you're on stage, there might be somebody actually sat kind of up and back to your left. And we were very aware this year, having spent some time here last year, we wanted to create a set that didn't only look good from one point of view. Whereas last year we had more of a traditional set where you look at it from the front and it looks great. You look at it from the side and maybe it looks a little bit less great. This year, without giving too much away, the way we create the trains and the way we create the different carriages is quite movable so that we can play to all sides. And hopefully there isn't a bad seat in the house, which is great.
Certainly from my seat, it looked absolutely fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Really well-produced show. These guys, the way they do the different characters, you would honestly think there's about 15 to 20 people you're watching on stage. Costume changes and all sorts. It's only the braces that may give them away, so watch for the braces. You'll work out who's who based on that. But come along and see the crimes on the Christmas Express at the Garrick in Lichfield. Lichfieldgarrick.com is the website. 01543 412121, their box office number. Come along, grab yourself some tickets and have a fantastic time in a full-on festive feel right the way through to the 6th of January. Thanks, guys, and have a great time with the rest of the show.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you.